Serbian-American inventor and futurist Nikola Tesla is known to have had an extraordinary personality. It is no coincidence that he remains one of the most revered minds of the 20th century. He made significant contributions to the world of science and was, most importantly, obsessed with unlocking the secrets of the universe. In this video, we will explore Tesla's thoughts on cosmic energy as the key to God and universe formation. Stay tuned. There is no subject that is more worthy of study than nature. For centuries, humans have sought to find answers to a lot of questions, including how nature came into existence, the laws that govern the universe, the forces that are active therein, what nature has got to offer humans in terms of making our lives better, and whether it holds a secret to a more convenient place for us to live. Nikola Tesla once said, "The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being, and if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible, therefore I devoted the next few months to the study of this work." Being born into a Serbian Orthodox family of priests, Tesla could be said to have a religious upbringing, though he never committed to any specific religion. His father, Milutin Tesla, who was a priest, polyglot, and mathematician, had a library where Tesla at a tender age would spend his days studying languages and reading books. Tesla believed that the universe is full of infinite energy which could serve as a source of answers to some of life's greatest mysteries. According to him, we can harness the energy to power our lives and the world at large, and one way to achieve this is through the use of technology. As a master of technology himself, Tesla believed that the universe constitutes several elements that can make the world a better place for humans. He said, "The universe is a symphony of vibrating strings. We are nothing but melodies, and through the vibrations of these strings we are interconnected with everything in the universe." Tesla made us understand that all matter on Earth consists of atomic material which is in constant motion, vibration, and spin. Also, everything has its own prime resonance frequency. The resonance frequency is the specific frequency of an atom or a particular object. And since both humans and organisms constitute matter, then they are also made out of atoms and molecules. The implication of this is that every living thing radiates energy and vibrates, and at its own level, with its sound determined by the velocity of its frequency. And as Albert Einstein already stated, energy cannot be created or destroyed, however it can be changed from one form to another. Identifying the prime resonance frequency of an object allows us to manipulate such an object. For instance, with the help of resonance frequency, you can crash a concrete bridge in under 10 minutes. Even the ancient civilizations believed in the theory that the universe was created with sound. To them, sound is responsible for everything. Now, in modern physics, we know that sound manifests physical form and that every frequency has its own specific shape. Even today, though, the original people of Australia would tell you that creation and time started when some supernatural beings awoke and broke through the surface of the earth. Hans Jenny's cymatic experiment supported this idea. The science of cymatics illustrates that sound frequencies directly alter the vibration of matter when they move through a particular medium, including water, air, or sand. Thus, Jenny's experiments revealed that sound can create landscapes, mountains, valleys, and even volcanoes, a further proof that the source of creation is sound itself. In short, everything we can imagine is triggered by sound, from the creation of light to the levitation of objects. And this sound theory also finds applications in Christianity, especially during the 6 days of creation where words were used to create the universe. That's why it's common to see, "and God said, let there be." And in Hinduism, the word that created everything is similar to the 6 aspects of the old Egyptian god Horus. In other words, the creators of the symbols knew what they were talking about and were aware of the power of sound. Tesla's concept of energy, frequency, and vibration provides us with a new perspective on the secrets of the universe. Once we understand the role of sound in creation, we'll appreciate the power of the universe. Tesla said, "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress within 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of existence. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration." By non-physical phenomena, Tesla was referring to how thoughts, emotions, sensations, and memory all act to produce reality. Everything in the universe, including humans, is made of materials. However, how we choose to process invisible matter is up to us. And so the question now is that if everything in the universe is made of particles such as atoms, molecules, protons, and electrons, then what is reality? Well, let's study reality from the perspective of energy. Energy is considered the life force that flows through everything. It powers our cars, the appliances we use, and even the human body. As humans, we are an individuated form of energy. We contain quantum particles and elements that form molecules, cells, organs, and chemicals that come together to generate a sentient being with a highly advanced brain. It is one of the reasons why humans are the only creatures that ponder on their own existence, history, and future. Unlike the birds that do not bother about the air through which they fly, or the fish that have no idea of the water in which they swim, humans have the ability to look into space and see billions of years back. And it was at the point of investigating the origins of the universe that humans conceived geology, paleontology, and oceanography. We simply want to understand ourselves and other forms of life better. And so the question now is this: from where do we continuously get this inspiration? Of course, energy. Therefore, we can conceive energy as the language of the universe and frequency as the data that drives the evolution of the universe. Tesla once attempted to distribute energy from one spot to another, so he built an array of smaller devices, which he installed all over the planet. He then attempted to use a transmitter for the distribution of energy. A transmitter consists of a piston vibrating inside a cylinder and transforming electric energy into vibrations. The transmitters use the rocks in the underground as a sort of conductor. They then send vibrations to a receiving device, and the oscillations are transformed back into electricity for local use. However, this system by Tesla never got beyond the prototype. But a similar vision by Tesla that was more successful was his imagination of using the oscillations generated by his device to study the Earth. An oscillator generates seismic waves, which it then projects into the underground and is reflected back to a receiver by faults or different layers of rocks. These reflective waves often help geologists to X-ray the Earth. And still today, modern seismologists use this principle, which involves sending pulses of energy generated by electromagnetic devices, controlled explosions, or mechanical pistons underground. Geophones record the reflected signals, while geologists use the collected data to model geological structures that are hidden under the ground. But now to frequency. Frequency is the energy vibration rate, usually measured in hertz. It is how often something occurs or repeats itself. Now, in physics, we are taught that nothing can travel faster than light. In this case, we consider the solar system as a human system. Our solar system, which is over 4.5 billion years old, is believed to show planets and moons orbiting around the sun. Although this is scientifically true, most of the imagery of the solar system is incomplete. Our recent knowledge suggests that the solar system is actually a vortex hurtling through space at over 43,000 miles per hour, at which point it becomes necessary that there needs to be something that maintains the balance, which is achieved through frequency. The fundamental frequencies of a planet are derived from the astrophysical parameters of the planet. Such parameters include diameter, circumference, rotational velocity, and orbital period. With the existence of multiple planets within a solar system, the planets need to remain in harmony to sustain balance. The implication of the need for this balance is that there is some form of awareness in the universe that processes frequency data as continuous feedback and continuously adjusts based on that feedback. In other words, when considered at the most fundamental level, our solar system is a product of frequency. From the level of the universe, physical and non-physical matters somehow coexist, and it is at this point of coexistence that quantum energy is derived. Quantum energy is the energy associated with the behavior of subatomic particles such as electrons and photons, which can be described by the laws of quantum mechanics. Quantum energy vibrates at frequencies that form physical matter, which goes down to each individuated form of energy within it. This is necessary to maintain the continued coexistence of everything that exists. Therefore, the superset must interact with and adjust for the subset. And in explaining vibration in relation to the creation of the universe, we'll explore how emotions result in resonance throughout our bodies. Emotions such as fear, for instance, typically start out from the outside. They then intensify when we allow them to dominate us. A clearer scenario of this theory of emotion and resonance is when you bring a vibrating tuning fork next to one that is not vibrating. You'll realize that it won't take long before both forks start to vibrate at the same frequency. In short, you will attract the kind of emotion you resonate with. Now, vibration is simply how everything existing in the universe interacts with one another as a whole. It is the amplitude or intensity of energy. It is a type of energy that travels through matter and space. In explaining the behavior of vibration or waves by using its energy and frequency, there is a principle which is that the higher the vibration or frequency, the more powerful the energy. Now, all organisms, including humans on this planet, use vibration, that is, energy, as the primary means of communication. When it is in its original condition, vibration is both inaudible and invisible. However, in its first stage towards manifestation, it becomes audible and subsequently visible. Now, as humans, our life, our perception of reality, and all of the technologies we use are in one way or another related to waves and parameters such as frequency and energy. The energy, frequency, or vibration that fills the universe is essential to all living cells, humans, plants, and animals. Us humans, for instance, utilize the energy with our minds. Every thought and aspect of life depends on this basic energy which constitutes the power of the universe. It is possible for us to interact with the reality around us because our eyes and ears can convert electromagnetic light and mechanical sound waves into electric neural signals interpreted by our brains. In fact, an instance of electrical waves is the process of decoding neurons in our brain. In other words, our perception of reality is based on our ability to decode and encode information in the waves. The portion of the visible electromagnetic spectrum that the human eye can detect is known as visible light or visible spectrum. On the other hand, electromagnetic radiation in the same range of wavelengths is simply referred to as light. Similarly, the electromagnetic spectrum encompasses various wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation such as light, radio waves, and X-rays. It also helps to visualize the energy of radiation measured through the wavelength size. Humans are believed to only hear within the range of 20 to 20,000 hertz, but under ideal laboratory conditions, humans can hear sounds as low as 12 hertz and as high as 28,000 hertz. Now, if we are to consider how sound affects us at the cellular level, we will realize that all of our problems here on Earth are created by our thought projections or inner sounds. When we use this energy positively, it raises our level of consciousness as humans, which in turn raises our vibration rate or frequency. In other words, we create and receive whatever we project from our minds in the form of thoughts. Whether knowingly or otherwise, every individual uses this energy, and each individual has a different vibration rate. In fact, our body relies on vibration to heal injuries, minimize stress and fatigue, improve blood circulation, and grow both physically and spiritually. Since the human body is complex, how our bodies manipulate energy can affect different individuals differently. Therefore, it's important that we manipulate this energy in a positive and ethical way, in a way that doesn't take away people's autonomy, dignity, and well-being. American scientist Royal Raymond Rife once invented the Rife machine, which produces energy similar to radio waves. The machine was built on the work of Dr. Albert Abrams. According to Dr. Abrams, every disease has its own electromagnetic frequency. He stated that it was possible for doctors to kill diseased or cancerous cells by sending an electrical impulse that is identical to the unique electromagnetic frequency of the cell. This theory is known as radionics. Rife machines use energy waves with a very low frequency. When Tesla himself was suffering from some visual and auditory hallucinations, he was able to attract as much of this universal energy to get healed. He also suffered hypersensitivity to vibrations and strong light. Before his eyes, blinding bursts of light would occur, which are then accompanied by visions. The visions were frequently tied to either a term or an idea he had come across. Most of the time, they helped him find answers to problems he was facing. And just like Tesla, everyone has the ability to attract this universal energy to any length. The law of attraction comes to play. The law of attraction is the principle that states that we attract what we give. In other words, the energy we put out into the world will come back to us. When you're seeking something, there is always the law of attraction to listen and provide. But what if it doesn't give us what we requested? Then it might be the case that you didn't leverage the energy, frequency, and vibration enough. Here's a simpler explanation. For you to receive what you desire and ask for, you must adjust your frame of mind to the same vibrations and the same frequency as your request. Think of it this way: if you tune in to CNN on your TV, you can't see whatever is happening on Al Jazeera. In other words, you must be able to harness energy, frequency, and vibration to create what you desire. This law of attraction has been around for centuries. In fact, it was first documented in the Bible in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, when Jesus said, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you." Tesla's position about learning the secrets of the universe has been literally interpreted thus: if I vibrate at a certain frequency, I will get everything I want and my life will be solved. Tesla's words were probably drawn from the words of Albert Einstein, who also dealt with energy just like Tesla. He said, "I want to know the mind of God, the rest is details." Since they are both delving into things that might never be fully understood, we can consider them to be exploring the mysteries of the universe, otherwise known as secrets. Just as it is with some yogic and spiritual beliefs, we all live in a vibrational universe and we are vibrational beings. Our cells, organs, and tissues all pulsate at a particular frequency. Our brains pulsate with electromagnetic energy and our bodies contract and pulse at various rates. All these pulses make up a living body and a composite of frequencies. While every individual vibrates at their own tune, negative behavior patterns and disease of any kind are all considered the result of our body and mind being out of tune. In the same vein, the world gives back to us what we give to it. For example, the energy or vibe, as we prefer to say today, and the frequencies we give off will reflect the people and situations in our lives. Now, while still explaining our reality, let's also consider time and how clocks around the world are synced. There is always physics behind the time unit. 1 second is 9,192,631,770 periods of the radiations corresponding to the electron transitions between two quantum levels in the cesium-133 atom. In short, the whole concept of time is inversely related to our perception of periodicity in our life. Taking some cues from quantum wave mechanics, we will realize that reality itself is a manifestation of the wave equation. If the wave equation is slightly adjusted, the result will be a whole alternate reality or alternate universe. And similar to our natural world, our digital world too is largely built around wave physics. If you consider the devices you use, phones, computers, radios, cameras, TVs, microphones, and so forth, you'll realize that they have what we call analog to digital converters, or ADC. As the name implies, the sole function of ADC is to convert analog waves, also known as electromagnetic or mechanical waves, into digital signals, usually appearing as binary information on our computers. And afterwards, we can generate our own waves with the aid of digital to analog converters, DAC, DAC, in combination with transponders such as antennas or speakers. It is one of the reasons why signal processing exists in almost all science and engineering fields. It allows us to record or generate waves to either extract or transmit information. And now at this stage, it's important that we look at one of Tesla's obsessions: the Egyptian pyramids, one of the most mysterious and magnificent constructions in the world in relation to his theory about energy. Tesla believed that the pyramids served as giant transmitters of energy. He conceived this thought during his investigation into means of sending energy wirelessly. He would later file a patent in the United States titled The Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy Through the Natural Medium in 1905. He outlined designs for a series of generators worldwide that can tap the ionosphere for energy collections. Having realized that the Egyptian pyramids' shape and location helped to create their power, he built a tower facility known as the Tesla Experimental Station in Colorado Springs and the Wardenclyffe Tower, or Tesla Tower, on the East Coast to take advantage of the Earth's energy field. Tesla constructed the tower facility in positions chosen according to the laws of the location and the triangular shape of the pyramids of Giza. He further structured his creation by considering the relationships between the Earth's elliptical orbit and the equator. He believed the planet Earth, with its two poles, is a gigantic electrical engine with limitless energy capacity. And on how the pyramids became sources of energy, it is written in the pyramid text that the gods gave us something to build a great power, meaning that some unknown power and forces were involved in the construction process of the Great Pyramids. But how did Tesla get involved? At a time when electricity was still relatively unknown, Tesla began to speculate that the pyramids had some advanced technology hidden within them. He studied ancient artifacts and texts related to them, including hieroglyphs and drawings. He was convinced that the power of the pyramids was related to electromagnetism. He speculated that some forms of crystal energy were used in constructing the pyramids, and the inner chambers contained powerful crystals that were used to manipulate the electromagnetic fields. And another way identified by Tesla to activate the power of the universe is through scientific inquiry and experimentation. Such experimentation involves studying the natural world and getting familiar with its laws. So let's explore Tesla's view on electrons further. As early as 1891, Tesla discovered very small charged particles within his vacuum tubes during some of his experiments. These discoveries were recorded in many of his scientific articles. To have a better understanding of the subject, he kept on experimenting with the particles. Although J.J. Thomson was credited with having discovered the electron, his knowledge on the subject cannot be compared with that of Tesla. Different from what some people made us believe about Tesla not believing in the existence of the electron, from his practical reasoning and experimentation, he stated that electrons would constitute some fourth form of matter or subatom that could only exist in an experimental vacuum and had nothing to do with electricity if they existed at all. Here's one of Tesla's quotes on the electron. To account for its apparently small mass, science conceives the electron as a hollow sphere, a sort of bubble. Now, a bubble can exist in such a medium as a gas or liquid because its internal pressure is not altered by deformation. But if, as suppose, the internal pressure of an electron is due to the repulsion of electric masses, the slightest conceivable deformation must result in the destruction of the bubble. While science made us understand that atoms are made of smaller subatomic particles, Tesla rejected the hypothesis. He claimed that it was impossible for an electron to generate an electric charge. In addition, he believed that atoms were immutable, implying that they could not change state or be split in any way. He believed in the all-pervasive ether that communicated electrical energy as proposed in the 19th century. Ether is the eternal recipient and transmitter of the infinite energy we already stated. Modern scientific research has helped us recognize ether's existence and its functions. According to Tesla, it has been a great step towards understanding the forces of nature and their multifold manifestations to our senses. So now when you think of the universe and the humans and organisms therein, you cannot isolate frequency, vibration, or sound and energy from it. These are the factors that determine how we participate as part of the universe. We are energy and a product of frequency. Do you disagree with Tesla's hypothesis on the truth about God? Share your thoughts about this video in the comments.